So what is qualifying work experience and when you should apply to have it checked? First of all, let's consider what is exactly this about. So qualifying legal experience is one of the requirements in order to qualify via Solicitor Qualifying Examination. So you have to pass SQE1, SQE2, meet the character suitability requirements, and prove that you have 2 years of this experience when it can be obtained, before, during, or after Solicitor Qualifying Examinations, SQE1 and SQE2. So it doesn't matter when, and it doesn't need to be post-qualification. Secondly, foreign qualified lawyers automatically meet this requirement and they do not need to prove anything. Thirdly, foreigners from outside of the UK who are not foreign qualified lawyers can submit if they have any local domestic experience for the purposes of the qualifying legal experience. What you need to remember that it should be in up to 4 organizations. What is on the merits qualifying work experience? This is to say that you've been exposed to activities like those which are assessed in the SQE2, those which is the actual legal practice. So, for example, you've been attending client interviews, you've attended the courts, you drafted certain documents, you handle communication with the client. And this all should be legal work, not just printing, for example, or something like assisting, which has nothing to do with actual legal work, for example, making appointments or things like that. So make sure it's actually legal work. But it may be a very broad range of things, and it must be certified by a qualified solicitor to prove that you have been exposed to those activities. The problem here for foreigners is that your company, your law firm, or it may be just in-house practice, might not have solicitors to prove your qualified legal experience. But this may be proved by an external solicitor or compliance officer. And we have a huge community of dual qualified lawyers who qualified with us during the last 7 years. And they are in various locations in Hong Kong, Singapore, Emirates, Thailand, New Zealand, Australia, in many African countries like Mauritius, for example. There's so many of those. So if you need any help, please get in touch. And we also work with a few providers who do provide it as well, obviously for a fee. When you should consider and apply for this to be checked and proved. There's no point to do it at the start. Start with your actual examinations. And just keep in mind that you need to have those 2 years. So make sure, let's say, by the moment you finish your SQE2, you have it, but just have it more as a plan, something you need to reach upon the point of admission when you will submit all the documents and apply. There's no point to obtain it at the start, because what if you never pass the SQE1 or SQE2? Those are pretty challenging assessments. You will have to pay for this to be checked and verified, so it's maybe just waste of money. So there's no need to do it at that early stage at all. Leave it until you pass the both assessments.